Hello, 大家好, I'm Grace. In Chinese, you will often see the word 了 appear in a lot of sentences. Its usage can be quite confusing, but today I will help you understand when, how, and why we use it. There are two types of 了. Let's see a sentence. 我跑了1小时了。我跑了1小时了。The first 了 is usually added right after a verb to indicate that an action has occurred or is completed. The second 了 is typically added at the end of a sentence, and this one is a bit trickier, so we're going to tackle it today. You might have learned that when 了 is added at the end of a sentence, it's used to indicate that there is a change of state. This is truly an important reason to use the there. However, it's hard to explain why we also use 了 in the following sentences. 我去过日本了。我去过日本了。他3天没洗澡了。他3天没洗澡了。10年了，你都没变。10年了，你都没变。In this video, you will learn 5 reasons why we use 了 at the end of a sentence. Afterward, you will understand what its usage is in the sentences mentioned above. The first one, 了 can be added at the end of a sentence to indicate a change of state. Let's see the difference between these two sentences. 我不去。我不去。I'm not going. 我不去了。我不去了。I'm not going anymore. The first sentence, 我不去, suggests that the person never intended to go. However, 我不去了 has the additional 了 at the end. It signals a change of state. The person initially intended to go, but later changed their mind and is now not going.
你还去吗？
我不去了。
Some more examples. 下雨了。下雨了。It's raining. It wasn't raining before, but there was a change of state. It's raining now. We can also use it to talk about a state changing in the past. For example, 昨天突然下雨了。昨天突然下雨了。It suddenly rained yesterday. The 了 also signals there was a change of state that happened yesterday. Another example, 我知道了。我知道了。I got it. I understand now. If you say 我知道, that means you have always known something. But if you say 我知道了，我知道了, that means you didn't know something, but now you do.
前2天舅妈来催债了，爸把家里所有的钱都拿出来，还给她了。
哦，我知道了。
This 了 can also be used to talk about changes that will happen in the future, and they will usually be in the structures 快了，要了, or you can combine them and say 快要了. These patterns can express that something is going to happen soon. Let's see an example.
别喝了。快醉了。
我早醉了。
Here she says, 快醉了。快醉了, meaning that being drunk is about to happen. There will be a change of state soon. So one of the important usages of the sentence final 了 is to indicate a change of state that can happen now, in the past, or in the future. The second usage of the sentence final 了 is to show that something is continuing to the present. When sentence final 了 is used in sentences with words indicating duration, it shows that an action or event that started at an earlier time is continuing up to the current moment. It's similar to the English perfect tense. Let's see some examples. 我认识他5年了。我认识他5年了。I've known him for 5 years. The event where we first met happened at this moment, and it has been 5 years since then. Just for your information, when you're telling a story, the reference time now can shift to a different point in time, as you narrate events from another time frame. Let's see another example.
睡多长时间？睡了2个半小时了。
睡了2个半小时了。睡了2个半小时了。This means that from the time that action 睡 had occurred, it has been 2.5 hours until the present time. Now let's look at the examples we mentioned earlier. 10年了，你都没变。10年了，你都没变。If you say 10年 by itself, it means 10 years. But if you add the 了 after it and say 10年了，10年了, it means it has been 10 years. So 10年了，你都没变 means it has been 10 years and you haven't changed at all. Another one, 他3天没洗澡了。他3天没洗澡了。He hasn't showered in 3 days. So he started not showering 3 days ago, and this state has continued to the present time. This 了 also expresses the meaning of already, which is another important way we use the sentence final 了. When you want to emphasize that something has already happened or that something has already met or exceeded expectations, the 了 can be used at the end of the sentence. For example, 我吃过饭了。我吃过饭了。I've already eaten. 我去过日本了。我去过日本了。I've already been to Japan. Another example.
从进门到现在，你的右手一直在摸你的左手中指，6次了。
Here he says 6次了。6次了。It means 6 times already. Let's watch it again.
从进门到现在，你的右手一直在摸你的左手中指，6次了。
So now if your friend invites you to watch a movie, but you have already watched the movie 3 times, then you can say to your friend, 那部电影我看3次了，可以换一部吗？那部电影我看3次了，可以换一部吗？ I've watched the movie 3 times already. Can we watch another one? You can also use 了 to let others know that something has already met or exceeded expectations, often when they might not think so. For example, 这个不太甜。真的吗？可是我觉得很甜了。真的假的？ Here she says, 很甜了，很甜了。It means it's already pretty sweet. So here 了 is used to express that the sweetness of the drink has already met or exceeded her expectations. Another example.
我的意思是说，比赛总有输赢嘛，你很厉害了。
Here the mom tells her daughter, 你很厉害了。你很厉害了。It means you're already impressive. The use of 了 emphasizes that the daughter has already met or surpassed expectations and is truly impressive, even if she might not recognize it herself. You will also see 了 frequently used with 已经 to further emphasize the meaning of already. Let's use 你很厉害 as the example. If you say 你很厉害, that means you are impressive. But if you say 你很厉害了, then it means you are already impressive. You can further add 已经 in the sentence. 你已经很厉害了 for emphasis, meaning that you're already impressive. Alright, next, we can also use 了 in imperative sentences to express time to do something or stop doing something. For example, 吃饭了, 吃饭了, time to eat. It conveys the meaning that it's time to start having a meal.
吃饭了，吃饭了。
Another example, 起床了，起床了, time to get up.
起床啦！
You can express stop doing something by saying 别了 or 不要了. For instance, 别生气了，别生气了 means stop being angry.
你真生气了？哎，你别生气了，别生气了，别生气了。
Let's see an example of using 不要了 to express stop doing something.
不要哭了，都给我洗手去，待会儿吃饭。
不要哭了，不要哭了 Stop crying. 了 is also used in some fixed patterns or phrases. For example, we often use 太 adjective 了，太了 to express an extreme or very high degree of something. The adverb 太 means to or extremely. Let's see an example.
太多了，太多了，太多，我们慢点喝，太多了。
Here, 太多了，太多了 refers to the quantity of wine they need to drink is too much. Another example.
我今天敷着面膜来，就算被人抓到也不知道我是谁。我太聪明了。
我太聪明了，我太聪明了 I'm too smart. Another pattern is negative adjective plus 死了，死了. Here, 死了 is also used to convey a high degree of something, which is usually negative. For instance,
热死了，热死了，热死了！
热死了，热死了 is extremely hot. Adding 死了 expresses the overwhelming hotness of the weather. Another example.
最近忙吗？
忙死了。
忙死了，忙死了 I'm extremely busy. 死了 here is also used to express the high degree of busyness. 了 might also be used in some set phrases. For example, 算了，算了 forget it. You can use it when you don't care about something anymore. For example, 算了，我不多想了。算了，我不多想了。Forget it. I won't think about it anymore. Another common phrase is 对了，对了. It has two different meanings. I've talked about it in this video. If you want to learn about it, remember to check out the video. Alright, I know I packed so much information in just one video. So let's do a quick recap to review what we have learned today. In Chinese, there are two types of 了, and we are focusing on the sentence final 了 in today's video. There are 5 reasons why we add 了 at the end of a sentence. The first one is to indicate there is a change of state. Like if we say 下雨了. We're conveying that it wasn't raining, but now it's raining. There is a change of state. The second reason we use 了 is to show that an action or event that began at an earlier time continues up to the present moment. And the sentence would usually contain words indicating the time duration. It's similar to the English perfect tense. The third reason we use 了 at the end of a sentence is to express already, to emphasize that something has already happened or has already met or exceeded expectations. For example, 我去过日本了 means I've already been to Japan. And 你很厉害了 means you're already impressive. 了 can also be used in imperative sentences to ask someone to start doing something, and it's often translated into time to do something in English. For instance, 起床了 means time to get up. With negation words 别 or 不要, it's asking someone to stop doing something, like 别生气了. 别生气了 means stop being angry. 了 is also used in fixed patterns or phrases such as 太 adjective 了 or negative adjective plus 死了. Both of them are used to express the extreme degree of something. 了 is also used in set phrases like 算了, 算了. Okay, that's all for today. I would say 了 is basically the hardest words in Chinese to master. However, by understanding its functions and listening to more authentic materials, I believe you will start to get the hang of it. I hope today's video is helpful for you. And if you'd like to support my creative journey on Chinese teaching, please visit my Ko-fi page. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much. 如果你喜欢今天的影片，别忘记按赞、订阅和分享哦。And also, if you want to learn some daily Mandarin expressions, check out my Instagram, Grace Mandarin. 那我们下次见喽，拜拜。
Like a sunrise, painting colors in the sky. We'll paint our words, piece them up so high. Each sentence is a brushstroke, rhythm in the air. We'll build our vocabulary.